seven suspects involved in murder, robbery, vandalism, cultism, unlawful possession of firearms and ammunition, and more. From these cases, we recovered a total of two firearms, seven ammunition, one vehicle, one tricycle, three battle axes, three cutlasses, charms, and other contraband. Below is a summary of some of these cases. We have a case of murder, arrest of suspected armed robbers, recovery of firearm, and other exhibits. On April 28, 2025, at about 7 a.m., operatives of the command received a distress call that two suspected armed robbers were caught by an angry mob and were being beaten and about to be lynched at Sura Alaba community in Ajegunle. Based on the report, operatives were immediately mobilized to the scene where the suspects, namely Aziz Anafi, male, age 25, alias Stainless, and Damlari Brown, male, age 25, were rescued and taken into police custody, while a locally made pistol with one expended cartridge and a suspected stolen tricycle were recovered at the scene. However, preliminary inquiry revealed that the suspects and their cohorts, still at large, fired at a tricycle rider named Abubakar, age 35, while they were attempting to dispossess him of his motorcycle at the aforementioned community, and he unfortunately died on the spot. The corpse has been evacuated and deposited at a public morgue for autopsy. Meanwhile, the suspects have been properly detained in police custody and exhibits have been registered accordingly. Effort is ongoing to arrest other fleeing members of the group as investigation progresses. We also have a case of arrest of a suspect for defilement. On April 29, 2025, at about 9:30 p.m., detectives of the command received a report from a complainant who reported that one Peter Onehi, male, age 48, of Amkoko area, had carnal knowledge of his physically challenged daughter, aged 16, on several occasions, and at about 8:30 of that day, he was caught indecently assaulting the survivor in his house at the aforementioned area. Based on the report, a team of detectives visited the scene of crime where the suspect was arrested, while the survivor has since been taken to a general hospital in Ajeromi for examination and treatment. Investigation is still in progress, and we are very sure that at the end of the investigation, and we are able to establish the culpability of the suspect, it will definitely be arraigned. We also have a case of arrest of a suspect for a case of kidnapping and rescue of the victim. On May 1st, 2025, at about 4:50 p.m., detectives of the command received a report from a complainant who reported that his son, Hassan, aged 14, male, was kidnapped by a group of suspected kidnappers at the Olodia Papa area, and the sum of 20 million naira was demanded for his release. Our operatives were immediately deployed to the point of ransom collection somewhere on Wema Bridge, Apapa. The team arrested one of the kidnappers, Musa Shuaibu, age 25. The team also went to the kidnappers' criminal hideout at a hotel in the Ajegunle area, where the victim was kept. The victim was rescued unhurt, debriefed, and reunited with his family, while the manager of the hotel was also arrested and taken into police custody for further investigation. Investigation is in progress. We have another case here, which is a case of recovery of a stolen vehicle and arrest of suspects. Also on May 1st, 2025, at about 9:40 p.m., operatives of the command received information that a group of hoodlums were on their way to Okekoto area of Agege to sell a Kia Cerato car, which they had stolen from where it was parked in Alakpere Ketu. Our operatives immediately mobilized to the scene, where three suspects, Oluwafemi Oladapo, male, age 28, Idris Mustafa, male, age 28, and Sefiano Usman, male, age 29, were arrested, while the vehicle was recovered from them. The vehicle owner has been contacted, and the vehicle has been handed over to him after careful verification. Meanwhile, investigation is ongoing to arrest other members of that syndicate. I have three other cases to talk about. This is arrest of a suspected cable vandal and recovery of exhibits. On May 6, 2025, at about 2:20 a.m., credible information was received that three suspected vandals were vandalizing the street light cables along Ijegun-Jakonde Road by Fire Junction, Ijegun. Based on the report, a team of operatives was swiftly mobilized to the scene, where two suspects, namely Jemilu Abdullahi, male age 28, and Samsudin Isiaku, male age 20, were arrested with some vandalized streetlight cables, while the others managed to escape. The suspects have been detained and the exhibits have been registered accordingly. Meanwhile, effort is ongoing to arrest other fleeing suspects while investigation progresses. We also have an interesting case, the arrest of a suspect for murder. On May 6, 2025, at about 8 p.m., we received information that during a heated argument between one Philip Ogwehi, male, aged 46, and the deceased identity is being kept for now, over the right of passage at a lounge in Songotedo area, Lagos. So the said Philip reportedly punched the deceased on the chest, and the deceased shortly after became unconscious. He was rushed to the hospital where he was confirmed dead by a doctor. Our detectives visited the scene. The suspect was arrested. The corpse has been deposited at the mainland hospital mortuary, Yaba, awaiting autopsy while investigation is ongoing. And the last case I'll be talking about today is also an interesting one. It's a case of defilement. Um, the suspect has been arrested. It was reported on April 30, 2025. The complainant is the mother of the survivors, and she reported on behalf of her daughters. Her daughters are aged 14 and 12, and they were defiled by their father, Best Oji, aged 39. So it happened, the complainant alleged that her husband defiled their two daughters in Surulere area of Lagos. The report was made and the suspect was arrested. The children were taken to a government-approved sexual assault referral center, SAC, and the medical report came out confirming the defilement. So the suspect was subsequently arraigned on May 9, 2025 for defilement under Section 137 of the Criminal Laws of Lagos State, 2015. For every other case that has not been charged to court, immediately investigations are concluded, we can assure Lagosians that they will be arraigned accordingly. I would also like to use this medium to assure all residents and visitors to Lagos State that under the leadership of the Commissioner of Police, CP Olorundare Jimoh, crime and criminality will be brought to a minimum as we continue to ensure optimal management and deployment of human and operational resources across the length and breadth of the state. We also implore Lagosians not to hesitate to contact the police if they see any suspicious activities around them. Also, I would like to quickly talk about the APC primaries that took place over the weekend, May 10, 2025. We are so, we feel fulfilled and proud that primaries went well. For us, it was more of a litmus test to see how prepared we are for the main local government election that will be coming up on July 12th. So we deployed our human and operational resources before the election, during the election, and we still remained on ground after the election to forestall any breakdown of law and order. It was more like a big affair as there were 376 wards across the states where the primaries took place simultaneously. In these wards, they had councillorship primaries, while the chairmanship primary took place at the APC headquarters, state headquarters on Akme Road, Ogba, where 240 candidates jostled for tickets. And in that primary, over 2,000 delegates were on ground to cast their ballot. And we were there. The Commissioner of Police, Pelon Jimoh, was also on ground to supervise security arrangements, and the election started quite on time by 10 a.m. At the end of the day, the ballots were counted, the results were announced. Just two persons were arrested, one for trying to disrupt the counting process and the other person for being unruly. By and large, it was a smooth affair, and of course, we are taking this back to our drawing table to see how we can improve on it. So, by way of this, we are assuring negotiations that the upcoming election on July 12th, the local government elections, security will be optimal, and they have no reason to fear or be apprehensive. And we hope that negotiations too, and the political class and the electorate would also cooperate with us and other security agencies to ensure a peaceful outing. Thank you very much for gracing today's briefing. I'll now leave the floor open for questions. Thank you.
Yeah.